This is Chris Kendall from therawadvantage.com. Registered holistic nutritionist, raw food lifestyle coach, 36 years old. I've been into veganism for 13 years, raw veganism for 12. When I got into veganism, I was already going through a long transition through basically like a carnivorous lifestyle into a vegetarian, whole foods-based lifestyle. I noticed huge changes in my health, my mental aptitude, and just felt, better in my shoes than ever before. Before that, I was feeling pretty depressed. When I went full-on vegan, it was really just the next logical step. I really started looking into a diet for New America, realizing the animal cruelty in every form of animal food. So I wanted to take it that step further. I also understood that it was just healthier and could help with my athletic potential. At that time, I was a competitive amateur skateboarder, and I really wanted the best chance I could get at succeeding at the highest levels I could perform by faster recovery and just having more power, more energy towards my performance rather than digesting food. Raw veganism just makes sense to me on every single level. When I look out to nature, when I look out to what the animals are doing, how they're eating, how I'm physiologically designed, it just makes sense to be eating whole, fresh, ripe, raw fruits and vegetables. The foods that our hands can easily grasp, the ones that we can see because we have the color sight, the ones that taste amazing just by eating, by itself. Doesn't need any preparation, doesn't need mixing, doesn't need any salt or condiments or any of those kinds of things. When it's fresh, brought up from the prana, from the earth, from the fire, from the sun, from the air, and from the water, and just perfect Mother Nature's gifts, God's gifts to us, it's the best, and every other animal does it. Why the heck wouldn't we do it? We have, tons of diseases, they don't, right? It just makes so much sense. And when it hit me on a common sense level, and then I did all the research and looked at all the nutritional factors and how it really fits our physiological needs and our nutrition needs, it's just no-brainer for me. When a lot of people get into veganism, they come through the animal rights sector. They come through understanding that the environment is in danger and that we're really polluting and wrecking the environment through animal agriculture. And this causes a lot of anger in people. It's unfair that the animals are suffering to please our tongues, that we just think we have this pleasure tube, and because of that we can just harm any other sentient living creature. It's unfair that the environment is being laid to waste, that we're ripping down the rainforest, and this causes so much anger in people, and it's totally justified. I don't think there's anything wrong with being angry, but it isn't super healthy for us. And while it can be an effective tool and way to approach some people, to shake them out of their view of life and get them to recognize that what they're doing or what society in general is doing isn't sustainable and it's not compassionate when we don't need to do it. It's a means, but it's not the only way. And if we're looking at being the healthiest, most vibrant people we can be, if we're looking at connecting with people on a heart-based and compassionate way, if we want to reach those people who are just turned off by, angry vegans, if we want to look attractive and have people looking at us and think, hey, that's what I would like to be, because in truth, most people, if they look at people who are if they look at vegans who are incredibly angry and just shaking people and yelling at them and calling them murderers or, spilling paint all over them because they're wearing fur, a lot of people just get pissed off and they don't understand, and it's like aggression meets aggression. And for those people, meeting them with compassion and with love and understanding that everyone reaches their point of understanding, hits their turning point at a different place, and just sharing vulnerably from the heart, this really doesn't meet my needs, this is really a travesty what's going on here, would you be willing to check this out, instead of being angry and swearing at them and personalizing it as if it's the person instead of the behavior, because the behavior and the person are two separate things. I think every person deserves love and compassion, because most of the time, if you give them that love and compassion, it can sink into them and they can actually see what's going on. But if you give them aggression, then a block comes up and you just want to fight, right? So I think there's many ways to do it. I've chose to go the compassionate route, to let go of anger so I can rise up to my highest vitality. I can feel my best, be more calm and at ease, and at the same time, there's always going to be angry vegans, so there's going to be those people shocking them. I choose to come from compassion and help to lead people by the hand to that place of understanding, compassion to others, and compassion to themselves. Because that's number one, compassion to yourself, so you can grow through that and be compassionate towards others. If I had one message to the world, it'd be to be kind to yourself, to be loving to yourself, to recognize that you aren't what you think, you aren't what you do, you are a divine spirit, you are love, you are God sent here to create, to enjoy, to experience everything there is. Be totally gentle with yourself, be accepting. Anything you truly want to experience, as long as you're not infringing upon the rights of others or hurting others against their will, enjoy it, be it, experience it until you don't want to, and grow and let go and learn through that. I really think we're here to experience everything, and just through being open, honest, loving every single thing we experience, no resistance, no guilt, and then moving and growing from that, we become more whole, happy, self-directed to our highest vibrational people. Emotional eating and fulfilling our emotional needs, I find, is either the #1 or 2 reason people have problems with the raw food diet. We're set up as emotional eaters since birth. We're given mother's milk, we're given candies and treats. As we get older, we give ourselves pizza, we drink alcohol, we do drugs, all these things to numb our emotions. If it's a party, we're having fun, we're having the highest height of our emotions, we use these things to numb or stimulate. And all of this brings us to a place where we're utilizing external sources to avoid what we're feeling inside. When somebody gets into a raw food diet, we're eating such high vibrational, easy to digest foods that we have so much more energy and connection to self to feel and emote. So it makes things a lot more intense. And without those heavy foods, without that alcohol to numb, people come into a hard place and they feel like they're at their wits' end and feeling crazy. They have stronger cravings as they're detoxifying. And if you don't have proper coping mechanisms, if you don't have that emotional awareness that this could happen when you're on a raw food diet, you can just feel like you're completely going nuts and then just fall off the wagon and roll all the way downhill to a pizza joint or to a burger joint or whatever it may be, right? So I think it's incredibly important to understand that food is just the biggest drug out there. We utilize food as a huge coping mechanism. We essentially use it as a drug to sedate or to mellow our feelings out. And once we understand this and recognize that raw food is not really quite as effective, we can develop other coping strategies such as exercise or deep breathing, meditation, reflection. So it can be really helpful to realize when we're feeling intense emotion, when things are running through us, if we just give ourselves 5 to 15 minutes of applying a new coping mechanism rather than food, we can find ourselves in a way. Super stoked, having fun, good to connect. I just love to hang out and